Welcome to Let's Talk Automotive, and today I'm joined by my good friend Brian Chain again. Brian, thanks for joining me.
Pleasure, man.
And this is the BMW R1250 GS Adventure.
That is correct.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
It looks the part as well.
It does. Okay, so is this a new bike or is it just an update?
This is just an update. The original bike came out in 2019.
All right.
I was on the launch of that in Natal as well, where they added 50 cc's to the older model.
Mm-hmm.
And also they added their shift cam technology in the engine, which gives you your engine basically two engine profiles.
Okay.
One for lower speeds and one for higher speeds. And that just made the torque curve a lot wider.
Yeah.
But this one is merely an update. There's some electronic updates. They've added a few electronic programs to the bike. The other thing is they've added a USB port, but the main thing about this is its new lighting, the new adaptive lighting. This is the new adaptive headlights from BMW. They've also added, in the indicators are now running lights.
So like a daytime running light.
Yeah, it's a daytime running light over the indicators. Everything is now LED. There's no more globes in this thing.
Okay.
But the main thing about the adaptive headlight is it's split into two sections. The first is this round section.
Yeah.
That holds your low beams. These two are for your high beams. So if I do that, you can actually see the high beam come on.
And this also moves.
That moved. The thing is with this, it's load dependent. So if you have a heavy load on the bike, this light can move 2 degrees up or 2 degrees down. Doesn't sound like much, but over a distance it makes a difference. The main thing about this is that it's got cornering lights.
Yes.
This round section can swivel by 35 degrees.
Oh, nice.
So you can really lean into a corner where then the light stays flat. So that,
horizontal.
So that your beam on the light still is the full road. That's what they've done with the adaptive headlights.
Amazing. So I'm sure that the rear lights will also look a little bit different.
Yeah, they are.
Let's go have a look at that.
The rear lights is they've integrated what we used to be in this light cluster is now integrated into the turn signals.
Okay.
They are also the brake lights.
Okay.
So if you hit the brake lights there, you can see that these lights come on as well.
All right.
They also incorporate the indicators.
Let me check quickly. All right.
So there's your indicators.
I said to you, Peter, the other day, the LED lights has just made a huge difference to lighting overall in the automotive industry. This looks really nice. I like that.
It does. And especially with the bike, it gives this bike a whole new front.
Yes.
When you see this bike in the rearview mirror, I mean, you'll know you'll know it's the 2021 version.
Agree. All right, let's run through some of the updates and upgrades on rider modes, etc., etc.
Fanie, on the rider modes, there's a lot of new rider modes. There's even a new Eco mode that BMW have put in. But I sincerely doubt that anyone riding a GS will ever put it in Eco mode.
Except if you miscalculate fuel consumption to the next fuel station.
Then you might want to put it into Eco mode. The nice thing about this that I liked is that on the previous models you had your mode selection where you scrolled through them. It was rain, road and dynamic.
I remember, yeah.
Whereas on this one you have 7 new modes.
All right.
So you've got Eco, you've got rain, there's road, and then there's dynamic Pro, Enduro and Enduro Pro.
Okay.
Now depending on your riding style you can select any 4 of those to be on your mode selection on your handlebar.
Okay.
Or you can just select 2 of them.
Couple of other things that we've come to expect on the bikes. Heated grips. This is also has an option for heated seats, but not available on this, or not as it is here. But you get heated seats as well for yourself, the rider, and for your pillion.
That's it.
Okay. What else? Is there really nothing else that's new on this update?
No. Okay. If you are an old BMW rider, this will look familiar to you. There's the cruise control, the menu items, everything is as it was.
Okay, I think what we need to do is take this for a proper spin here in Cullinan area, outside on the dirt roads.
In the middle of nowhere.
I think we need to take it for a nice spin. And Brian, I just want to tell the viewers at home and wherever they are across the country and the world for that matter, is that this is a middle of the winter day in South Africa. here in the Highveld. So it's about 16, 17 degrees.
14 to be exact.
Oh, 14, all right. And yeah, we're just so blessed with this country and the ability to go and ride even in the middle of winter.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Okay. So Fanie, I think we've done a little bit of gravel road now. This is not a good surface to be riding on, but this just once again showed me what an amazing suspension this BMW Adventure has.
Yes.
It felt so secure and so planted on this road.
I agree, and one thing that I must say, because we are on the camera bike, I'm on the 2012 GS Adventure, my personal bike, and just the difference from that to this is really amazing. I know that, you know, this upgrade there's a model between the two, but it's a massive difference. So for the guys on the older bikes, they'll be pleasantly surprised. So you said the GS Adventure is very popular, and this is the one that we have here. But what's the difference between a GS Adventure and the normal GS? Because I think it's something that always, you know.
Yeah, there's always that question.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, there's probably going to a lot of BMW riders that are now going to be keyboard warriors. But the main difference is it's got a 30-litre tank.
Okay, so it's got a bigger tank.
It's got a bigger tank, 30 litres as opposed to the 20 litres of the standard GS. And obviously the suspension part of this is just phenomenal. And the extra weight on the tank itself just makes the bike so stable.
Yeah, and there's a lot of extras that's standard on this bike, like the upper and lower crash bars and the frames for the luggage, etc., etc. So there's a lot of stuff that you get standard. I think the foot pegs are also you know, the standard on this is bigger. So yeah,
and the standard has got alloy rims, whereas this one has got laced spokes.
Yes, spokes. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so again, do you think it's more of a personal preference between the GS Adventure and the GS, or is it very specifically application?
Well, it's application. When we rode that Paardepoort road, I was on both of them, and you could feel the difference between the two bikes.
Yeah. Price is something that we need to talk about. So now I hope the guys are sitting down.
Yeah.
But again, saying that it's not excessive compared to the other bikes. This is what it is now. You know,
that is unfortunately where we are.
Yeah.
And this being a BMW, there's a lot of accessories and specifications that you can add afterwards.
Yes.
This one starts at 353, this particular rally version.
Yes.
There's also a smaller Adventure that starts at 343, but you're looking at 350 plus.
350-ish.
350-ish for a bike, which is on par. I mean, the new Harley Davidson Pan America is 312 going to 370.
Yeah.
So this is par for the course if you are looking for a big adventure bike.
Okay. Out of 10, what would you rate this? And then you have to ask yourself the question, would you buy it, yes or no?
Well, that's, again, I'm talking a personal preference. I've ridden a lot of these bikes, and for me, I would rate it about a very high 8, almost a 9.
Okay.
It's not the best at anything in specific, but it just does everything so well.
So it's a nice package.
It's a nice package. There's certain things that I personally don't like. I don't like the size of this bike. For me, it's just too big.
Okay.
I'm still skittish off-road and everything. This bike for me is just too big. And the one other thing is the keyless entry. And this is not a BMW thing. It's a keyless entry thing. I wish motorcycle manufacturer would stop with that. Because
with the start-stop button and putting the key somewhere and
losing it. Because if you are in the middle of nowhere and the key fob's battery dies, you're stuck.
Yeah.
And that's the part. But again, this is a spectacular bike. And I said when we picked the bike up this morning, I said that if I have to go to Cape Town now, I'll get on this any day of the week.
Absolutely. Okay, so Brian, I agree with you at rating, but I'm going to go a little bit higher because I am a big BMW fan. And yes, comparing, if we look at this in the big bike adventure sort of segment, this would probably be my bike of choice. So I'm going to go 9.5 out of 10 because I'm sure that it's not a perfect bike. And yes, I would definitely buy it. So I have to go and work a little bit harder to get more money now. All right,
thanks,
guys,
Fanie.
That's us and our review on the BMW R1250 GS Adventure. And we'll see you guys again soon. Cheers.